A World Cup match was delayed in Seattle, but not because of VAR, not because of a red card, and not because of fan trouble. This time, the man at the center of the drama was the referee himself. In the closing stages of USA's World Cup clash with Australia, German official Felix Zwayer suddenly went down on the turf with Cramp forcing an unexpected stoppage that left fans stunned. And then came the moment nobody saw coming. The fourth official sprinted across the pitch, not with a tactical note, not with a replacement whistle, but with emergency pickle juice. Players from both teams rushed over. USA striker Felix Zwayer tried to help stretch the referee's leg. Australia's Aidan O'Neill also came across to assist. For a few strange minutes, the World Cup became less about goals, tactics, and pressure, and more about a referee trying to get through stoppage time. But while the bizarre scene grabbed attention, it did not stop the United States from completing the job. Because Mauricio Pochettino's side had already taken control, and by the final whistle, the tournament co-hosts had secured a 2-0 win over Australia, their second straight victory at the World Cup. The match in Seattle had already given USA fans plenty to cheer about before the late drama involving Felix Zwayer. The Americans came into the game looking to build momentum, and they wasted little time making their mark. Inside just 11 minutes, USA took the lead after a calamitous own goal from Cameron Burgess. It was exactly the kind of start Australia wanted to avoid: early pressure, early danger, and then an early mistake that gave the hosts the advantage. From there, the United States had something to protect. The crowd had energy, the players had confidence, and Australia were forced into a difficult chase. But the second goal did not come without controversy. Alex Freeman headed home from close range, only for the assistant referee's flag to go up for offside. For a moment, the celebration was frozen. USA thought they had doubled the lead. Australia thought they had survived, and everyone waited for the check. Then VAR stepped in. Replays showed Freeman had not gone beyond the final defender, and the decision was overturned. The goal stood. USA were 2-0 up, and Australia suddenly had an even bigger mountain to climb. That VAR intervention gave the Americans control of the scoreboard, and from that point on, they were able to see the game out. But as the clock moved into stoppage time, the strangest moment of the match arrived. Felix Zwayer blew his whistle after the ball went out of play. At first, it looked like a normal pause in the game. Then it became clear something was wrong. The 4-5-year-old referee dropped to the turf, struggling with cramp. This was not a player pulling up after a sprint. This was not a substitute preparing to come on. This was the match official, down on the pitch, needing treatment in front of a World Cup crowd. And the reaction was instant. Fourth official Katia Garcia sprinted across the field to help him carrying pickle juice. It was an unusual sight, but in football, pickle juice has been used by players dealing with cramp. This time, though, it was the referee who needed it. Felix Zwayer, the USA striker who had scored twice in the previous win over Paraguay, also tried to help. He moved over to the stricken official and helped stretch his leg. Australia's Aidan O'Neill then came across as well, offering assistance as the bizarre situation unfolded. For a match that had been defined by USA's control, a quick own goal, and a VAR-confirmed second, this was the moment that people were suddenly talking about. A referee down with cramp, a fourth official running with pickle juice, players from both teams trying to help. It was one of those scenes that nobody predicts before kickoff, and yet, once it happens, nobody forgets. The drama was made even more striking because this was Felix Zwayer's World Cup debut. The German official had arrived at the tournament after an action-packed season in the Bundesliga and the Champions League. But his first World Cup appearance ended with him at the center of a very different kind of headline. Not for a penalty decision, not for a red card, not even for a controversial VAR call, but for collapsing with cramp in stoppage time and needing emergency pickle juice just to continue. And Zwayer's name already carries a complicated history in football. His career took a major hit back in 2005, when he was involved in a match-fixing scandal. It was revealed that he accepted a €300 bribe from fellow referee Robert Heuser, and the German Football Association banned him from officiating for 6 months. Years later, his past became a major talking point again when Jude Bellingham was fined £34,000 in 2021 after accusing Zwayer of match-fixing following a Borussia Dortmund clash with Bayern Munich. Bellingham had been furious after Dortmund were denied a penalty, and his comments led to punishment. So when Zwayer stepped onto the pitch for this World Cup match, there was already a long backstory attached to his name. But in Seattle, the headline was not about his past. It was about the shock image of a referee on the ground, players rushing to help him, and a bottle of pickle juice becoming part of a World Cup stoppage. For a few minutes, the match stopped being routine. The officials were suddenly under the spotlight for a completely unexpected reason. The players became helpers. The fourth official became the emergency responder, and the crowd watched a scene that felt more like something from a viral clip than a World Cup group stage match. But crucially for USA, the delay did not change the result. Australia could not use the stoppage to spark a comeback. The Americans kept their composure, and when play finally moved on, the outcome remained the same. USA had done what they needed to do. By full time, the United States had sealed a 2-0 victory over Australia and made it back-to-back wins at the World Cup. Mauricio Pochettino's side had taken the lead through Cameron Burgess's own goal, doubled it after VAR confirmed Alex Freeman was onside, and then survived one of the most unusual stoppages of the tournament so far. For USA, this was another important step forward. For Australia, it was a frustrating night shaped by an early mistake and a VAR decision that went against them. But for everyone watching, the final image may not be the goals. It may be Felix Zwayer on the turf. It may be Folarin Balogun helping the referee stretch. It may be Aidan O'Neill rushing over. And it may be fourth official Katia Garcia sprinting across the pitch with emergency pickle juice in hand. At a World Cup already full of drama, controversy, and strange moments, this one was different. Because nobody expected the referee to become the story. USA got the win. Australia were beaten. And Felix Zwayer's World Cup debut ended with one of the strangest delays the tournament has seen.